Good morning. It says you are live. I love it. I don't think I will ever not find this quite novel, So we are now streaming on Facebook. We are now streaming on YouTube. And next week we will be streaming on Twitch, which is not a platform that I normally use. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Show Up, Rise Up show, self-styled Facebook TV show by me, the Queen Bee, Danny Wallace. For those of us that haven't met before, I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, what the chuff is this? What is she doing? This person has decided to set herself up as a TV type presenter. I've been in the performance space for years. I've been working as a public speaking coach, as a singer. And what I started to do right at the beginning of lockdown, so at the beginning of the kind of COVID-19 situation, is I decided that I was going to get up every morning and go live in my community. So I've got a free Facebook community, online community called the IATQB Hive. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Tracy. Morning, Joanne. Ah, amazing. You're all here. You're all here. Yes, Kat, we've got Kellie Williams on with us this morning. I found that getting up at 8 o'clock every morning got me out of bed, and in return the rest of my community, the Queen Bees, the Hive, was like, do you know what, Danny, you're keeping us sane here. So I thought, do you know what, we're gonna make it a thing. So we made it a thing. Look, I'm all branded up. I've got my Queen Bee mug, I've got my cup of coffee. Good morning, Wendy Ann. Good morning, Annie. Look, loads of us this morning. Loads of us here this morning. And look what I can do. So I'm using, for anybody that's interested, I'm using the platform StreamYard. So, because I was getting ready on my own. So for years, I've been building up my audience in the Facebook world by putting my makeup on in the car. So as a singer, very, very rarely get a nice dressing room. Sometimes you don't get any kind of dressing room, or it's the disabled toilet, or it's, somewhere a bit grotty, like a basement or a cellar or something like that. So I used to put my makeup on in the car, go live, and just muse on what I was up to. And so that is just what I did. So I was in the Hive. Good morning, everyone. I love how busy we are this morning. I know loads of you have been doing Lisa Johnson's incredible challenge this week. I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. So I was just introducing, there's lots of new people that I know that are joining because of Lisa this morning. So lots of you have been joining her at 8 o'clock every morning this week, looking at recurring revenue, looking at what that could possibly look like for you. And it's such a pertinent time to do it. So welcome to those of you that are brand new. Welcome to those of you that have been showing up, wising up and rising up with me for the past few weeks. So I started going live on my own in the IATQB Hive. And if anybody wants to join the Hive, just pop Hive in the comments and you can come on over. We hang out there and we have loads of fun. Now, it's all well and good me sat there, like putting my makeup on, musing on live, having a chat. And I just thought, do you know what I'd really like to do is I'd like to share as many of you guys with the world as possible. So I started to do little interviews. But technology wasn't my friend. So technology started to not be my friend. And then all of a sudden it started to be my friend when I started to learn about it. And it's always the case, isn't it? So Facebook doesn't now let you go live, like dual live into groups. Well, it doesn't let you dual live anywhere on the platform anymore. It used to, but it wasn't a really stable platform. So then we decided to use Zoom and then stream from Zoom into the group, which is fine. But then again, that become unstable. And then we found StreamYard, and then StreamYard makes it look like the telly. And I thought, well, if we're going to look like the telly, then that is what we're going to do. We are going to look like the telly, and we're going to pop it out onto the business page and share it with as many people as possible. It gives me an opportunity to bring on some incredible guests, and we really have some incredible guests. We've got Kellie Williams here with us today. Next Friday, we've got the amazing Dave McPartland, who I don't know if you remember Britain's Got Talent last year or the year before. He was the head teacher that did the Don't Stop Me Now with all of the school kids. He's wonderful. And if any of you are doing bite size at the moment with a 9 to 11-year-old, you will see Dave as he's one of the teachers on there. So he's going to be joining us next Friday. He's going to be joining us next Friday to get ready with us. And that's what we're doing. So we're just getting ready for the workday, shooting the shit. Pardon any F-bombs or fucks or buggers that I accidentally drop. I just get excited. I love that you guys are loving on the screen. So Lisa, so for those that don't know, Lisa Johnson is an incredible business coach. She's one of my friends and I am a client of hers. And I said to her, like, I want to be on the telly. I was going to tell you a story then. I can't remember what I was going to tell you. I'll tell you. It'll come to me in a sec. I want to be on the telly. She's like, oh, this is what I was going to say. She was like, well, do you know what? You either wait to get invited, and more often than not, that never happens, or you make the table to sit at. So this is me making the table to sit at. Okay, so I'm going to bring on our guest this morning. So I want you to give loads and loads of love to the fabulous Kellie Williams. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you? You're looking glam already.
Thank you. I've slapped on a load of makeup to look like this.
I love. We're meant to be getting ready together. You've done it like you're premature.
It's that theatrical background, though. I just can't go out there onto it. It felt like I was walking onto the stage then, Danny.
And I expect to hear. I feel like I should have a button and have like an applause, or like get you guys to like hit the like and the love button and like just share the shit out of it every morning when I bring the guest on. It's so exciting. So we've got loads of people that joined us this morning because Lisa's challenge has come to an end. Well, it's not come to an end. There's lots of people kind of catching up on it. So she's not live this morning at 8 o'clock, which means loads of people have come over from the challenge to come and watch. So hello to all of you challengers. Let me know in the comments if you've been doing Lisa Johnson's challenge. I know it's been phenomenal. A number of people that I know, like and love, have done the challenge, of doing the challenge, and it's fantastic. So Shell Show it's saying, I think he's doing, we're talking about Dave McPartland. I think he's doing the 7 to 9 year olds on bite size. Tracy's saying, wow. Oh, you guys are going crazy. I love it. It's busy this morning, Kellie.
Wow.
So, I can't see the pop-up behind you. What does it say? Kellie, what is that pop-up? Share. At the drop of the hat. I love it. Kellie, tell us what it is that you do. What's your business?
So my current business, because I've got lots of other things happening at the moment, is a VA business. So currently I'm a virtual assistant.
Okay, cool. So we've spoke to somebody who's been a virtual assistant this week and has grown the business in different ways. What does being a virtual assistant mean to you? Because there are lots of different types, aren't there?
Yeah, so I started my virtual assistant business in December after leaving a recruitment role. After 16 years of being in recruitment, I've always wanted to run my own business, and I really wanted to help sole traders and entrepreneurs with the time factor that they have. And also, I think business owners get to a point where they're really busy. They're not quite sure what to do. You know, they kind of need to employ somebody, but they're worried about the money aspect of employing somebody. So my whole idea was to be able to help those people with the skills that I've got, because I have a number of different skills from my background, and I love learning new tasks as well.
Okay, cool. So that's the thing, isn't it? Like when small businesses start to outsource, it tends to be the sticking point when they start to scale. So I think, like, as a new business owner, do you find that, you know, I did this right at the beginning myself, but lots of plate spinning goes on and you end up kind of getting to like a creaking capacity where you're frightened to bring people in? Is that when people come and find you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm for, to start to take on slowly some of those tasks. But the main thing that I've done with the business owners that I've been working with, which is really crucial to me, is to get to know them and get to know their business really well. Because I think it's really important, the whole, you know, like, no, trust aspect of things. Because, you know, why is somebody going to give more and more tasks to me if they don't like me and they don't trust me? You know, I've had to build up that rapport with people. Yeah. And I think it's so key that I really understand their branding. And I think with one of the business owners that I've been working with recently, and I don't know whether she's on today, Nick Wagstaff, who's one of my clients, Inspire Rewire. it's a very different business. So my background is, to be fair, quite salesy, and I try and sort of, bring down that sales aspect of things, because I am very theatrical because of that part of my background.
Oh, I love a bit of jazz hands. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, circumstances. So most of the time my jazz hands are absolutely fine. But for Nick and her business, because it's a wellness business and it's a bit softer, I've had to adapt a bit more to her business. And that is what I've tried to do with all of my clients, really. Understand their business so I can help them going forward. And I think, what's interesting is, my business is now evolving. So it's becoming a bit more than that. And that's what I always wanted, really.
Amazing. So how is it coming a bit more? Like, what's changed, and how is that? Like, tell me, like, what's changed?
Well, I mean, this is one of the things I was thinking about yesterday, because when I did your challenge, I absolutely loved your challenge, and you saw that I was an action taker. And
you are an action taker. I love that about you, Kelly. Like, as soon as I said you can like book a link, you can book to come on and get ready with me, you was like, pew, like shit off a shovel. You was like the second one in. I love it.
I do it. I say yes and then I think about it.
Think about it later. It's fine.
Like, yes, ma'am, basically. So, where was I? Okay, so yesterday I was thinking about this. And one of the things I've been doing is, I did some of those 60-second videos yesterday. You spoke about them, didn't you, in your challenge? So I recorded a load of my 60-second videos yesterday, because they are really useful just to keep popping on here and there, aren't they?
They are, and then you don't have to be ever present. So for those just to catch people up that maybe haven't come across us before, Kelly. So every so often in my group, I run a challenge to help get people speaking, either on a stage or in a group in real life, or indeed right now it's really important to be speaking online. And one of the great ways to do that, and one of the tasks within our little challenge was to create some 60-second content so that you could post it across the social media. And people would find, would they not, Kelly, that either they loved doing the pre-records and hated going live, or they loved going live and hated doing the pre-records. Where did you fall?
Well, to be honest with you, I was really nervous about the lives, but the more I've done them, the more I've enjoyed them. I think it usually, I suppose with this interview as well, it takes me a couple of minutes to get into it, but once I find my flow, I'm fine. But then with the videos and stuff as well, I've been really enjoying doing those. And now there's less takes to be able to get one that I like.
Yeah.
Because I've just come to the point where I'm like, I just need to be me.
Yes. That's it. It's exactly that. And I think that when people first start speaking online, or when people first start sharing what it is that they do online, and now has been a really important time to do that, because we can't do it anywhere else right now. So for those of us that were going out to networking meetings, those of us that were going out to events regularly, those of us that were, for me, speaking on stage and having access to lots of people all the time, it's really important to start that speaking online. And I found, and I know loads of people that took part in the challenge felt this, the pressure for perfection. Like, oh, I've got to get it right. I've got to say all the right words in the right order, and I've got to look great, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And the more you do it, the less makeup you wear, the more F-bombs you drop. It just becomes much more relaxed. But that's a sweet spot when people start to connect with you, because you don't look unapproachable or unobtainable, and also you're relaxed.
Yeah. And that's what I found on my lives as well, that I just started to become a bit more natural, and I started to forget what do I look like? Have I said have I said I've worried about that far too much. And I think that goes back to my theatrical background, and I worked as a dancer for many years.
I want to know more about this. Tell us, because I'm a singer as well. I'm here for the stage, darling.
Okay, I'll leave out some of the dirty stories then.
Oh, no, you must not. I want to know everything.
Stories today. So I grew up in a dancing family. My grandma was a dancer. My mum was and still is a dancer and dance teacher. And my mum is, I shouldn't say how old she is, but she's a couple of years off 70. She's fabulous. right? And she's still teaching now. And you should see it when she dances. You know, everybody says to me, "Oh my God, is that your mum?" And she's just wonderful. She's the best tapper I've ever met. And I've met fabulous choreographers and great tappers. You should see my mum. It's American tap.
I feel like we need to get a 60-second video of your mum tapping, and we need to share it in here just to see how amazing she is.
She is. She's fabulous. Anyway, so that was kind of my upbringing, was, you know, one half business with my dad running businesses, and then my mum got involved in the businesses as well. And the other side of it was dancing and theatre. So, you know, I'd find myself sitting in theatres watching my mum rehearse for plays or shows, and I found a great love for both.
So where did you end up performing?
So I performed on the cruises. So my first contract was in Dubai, started out there. I worked in the World Trade Center in the first pantomime for the expats.
Oh my God.
In 1995.
No. I was not in my first year at high school in 1995.
See, my Botox is wearing off, actually.
We've got Joanne Smith is saying, "Kelly, get your mum on TikTok." I love that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You'd end up with just a massive following for your mum.
She's just set up on YouTube, actually.
Has she?
So I'll get her on TikTok. To be fair, I'll be going around this afternoon anyway, because I've got to go and see my dad, because, you know, I don't know whether you've seen, I've said a couple of things about my dad having dementia. So that's a whole nother story, but I'm going on a walk with my dad.
I'm with you on the dad front. My dad's got an acquired brain injury. He's in a home. So I'm absolutely with you on that. And it's like right now things are really frustrating. So is he in a home? Is mum looking after him, or where's dad?
No, my dad's at home with my mum. But it's frontal temporal lobe dementia that he's got. So it's one of these things it's started to progress quite quickly. But we had a bit of a situation on Sunday night. So I went over and I stayed for a couple of nights. We got the consultant over and the mental health team, and, you know, we've got some new meds and stuff. And me and my brother have drawn up a bit of a rota to speak to him every day on the phone, and I'm going to go over and go for walks with him and stuff. So, so you can only manage it in a certain way, can't you?
Of course you can. You've got to, you know, everybody's trying to do the very, 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 very best that they can right now. And do you know what? You've got to do what you've got to do, and it's the only way. So before you were saying that, you were saying about
Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai.
About Dubai.
Yeah, I'm here for Dubai.
That was my first.
I have a traveller heart, and I need to really be thinking of broad thoughts right now. Who else is a traveller? Put in the comments if you love getting on a plane. So many of you have had your holidays cancelled. Let's dream for a second. Kelly, tell me about Dubai.
So 1995, I was in my last year of college. We were asked to do an audition for this pantomime. I was one of the people who was picked to go and go out to Dubai for, I think it was a couple of months we went out there for, actually. And it was fabulous. I did this pantomime with, do you know Paul Zerden with Sam's, I have to do this, Sam puppet. He won America's Got Talent a couple of years ago.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Paul Zerden was in it with us.
I love it. Amazing.
He played buttons, and all those dances, when there was this scene, and, you know, obviously you've got to play pranks on people, haven't you, when you're doing panto? Well, all those dancers used to hide naughty things in his case when he was doing this scene, because he had to pull things out of his case, so we used to hide G-strings in there and everything.
Do you know what? One of the lovely things about working in a cast. So now I go out singing on my own. So, well, when I'm allowed to, when we're not on lockdown, it was a whole leg of my business just got kicked out from underneath. I think this is as close as I get to performing right now is by jumping on lives and whatever. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just stroking my own ego. But I'm not afraid to say it. It's all right. We've got to be real. I don't hide anything from anybody. But going out on my own singing is pretty lonely. I know some of you that follow what I do are performers too, and you go out on your own. And it's more of a driving job than a singing job. So when you're in a cast, the amount of fun that you have and the family, it's like a little love bubble, isn't it? Where, you know, where there's just you guys, and it's like a little family, and it's really intense. And I always used to find it really strange that it was really intense. We used to love each other a lot, and you know, we laughed together, cried together, been through these things together, and then we'd get to the end of a contract and barely ever speak again. I find it really strange. Did you find that?
Yeah, it was really odd, and it's almost like you go through a grieving process for those people. Yeah, it's just, there's nothing quite like being in a show and having that family and having such fun, and then suddenly, you know, you're away from that, and then you're back to auditioning again.
Yeah, and then you've got to start all over again. I kind of got to the point where I don't want to meet anymore, but I don't want to love any more people either. They're just gonna leave me. I've got real attachment issues now.
But you get used to certain things. Like when I worked on the cruises, I worked for Carnival Cruises out in America and Mexico. And,
I used to work for Celebrity.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but being a single, we used to get a bigger cabin. We got more privileges.
Oh, do you know, I worked on a Stena ferry, and not long after I'd done the Dubai job, I worked on a Stena ferry that went from Harwich to Holland, and basically it was a booze cruise. That's what it was. But talking of cabins, right? I had a cabin because I lived on the ship, right? And this cabin was below the car deck, right? So I literally had enough space for my little bed, right? Tiny.
You touch both walls like this.
Yeah. And I'm 4'11", so for me to be able to touch both walls is quite difficult.
Are you 4'11"? Oh, you're tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How did you get through the audition process? Like, was you like just about the height?
It was a nightmare. I had to work so much harder because I was always the one that didn't line up with all the other girls.
Right. So you would have to on the outside or bookend everybody, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to really give it some beans.
Yeah, I'd have to give it everything, and I'd push myself to the front, and I'd be on the front row, and I'd work much harder. And I used to do things with my CV and so my CV and photo. What I used to do was I used to print my CV out on blue parchment paper, like a really lovely blue parchment paper.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly when they were looking through stuff, if they were looking at my CV.
Oh, so it would stand out, and you knew when.
I knew when they were looking at me. So I had to work extra hard because a lot of the cruises and all the shows have all the costumes pre-made as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So then
I got sent home once because I was too fat. Not from a contract, but that I'd been through the process and had got the job, and then we were out at rehearsal and they took the measurements, and I was too big for the costumes, and they weren't going to let them out or add any of the work, and they flew me home.
Yeah, I've been there. I worked for a company in that were based in Essex, in Colchester, and I'd done a contract for them previously, and then I went to do another contract for them, and I think they were supposed to be sending us to, I think it was somewhere like India or something. I can't even remember where we were going, but I was there with two of my friends. And we were doing the rehearsals, and the guy who ran the company, his brother was in the Territorial Army, and they used to go on about our weight all the time. And this guy used to take us running every night, and I was a size 8 at the time. I've never been skinny, but I'm 4'11", so it's quite difficult unless
for sure,
kind of thing. And I remember when we tried on the costumes one day, he said to me, short of chopping your ass off, Kelly, I'm not sure what we can do with it.
Do you know, it's honestly the most incredible industry and the hardest industry, isn't it? And I think one of the things that I learned most from being in show business is resilience. I think that's one of the reasons why I do so well in business now. Would you agree? Would you find yourself in the same spot?
Definitely. I mean, what other industry is somebody going to say those words to you about your ass being too big and needing to chop it off?
Honestly, because that would still happen now, but you would have tribunal cases on your hand, wouldn't you? You'd be able, you would be able to take them to court. But still, in the performance industry, those are the questions. Those are those are the statements, those are the quotes, that's what they still say. You know, it's very still based around sizing and what have you, or, you know, people kind of watching what you're eating, and especially dancers. Dancers particularly had it really, really tough to maintain their shape and to maintain their energy as well. So I love that, a little deviation. I love it. So, Kellie, how have things changed for you on lockdown? So you said things have changed a little bit in terms of things that, you know, you were offering beforehand and things that you're doing now. Have you found that being on lockdown has given you a chance to evolve quicker than potentially you might have done before?
Yeah, I think what it's done is given me that time to think. And you know, I said before about doing my 60-second videos yesterday. One of the ones that I came up with to talk about was when you're young and your mum says to you, you're hanging around in the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about that.
I got that.
That's what I did one of my videos on. So, you know, I think in business, it really, it mentors you and it inspires you if you're hanging around with the right people. So,
it's like what Jim Rohn says, you're the sum of the 5 people, or you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. You know, your tribe, the people who you hang out with, give you the benchmark to move yourself forward, don't you? So if you're hanging out with people who are set in a certain way, or don't look in a certain direction, or don't have that same fire or drive or motivation, it's really difficult for you on your own to move yourself forward. It's why I hang out with you guys. It's why I created my own community, because I was like, we are moving forward, you lot. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, the people I'm hanging out with at the moment is yourself. Lisa Johnson, I've been hanging out on her challenge this week, and absolutely
we've been loving Lisa Johnson this week. I love it. I love how she keeps coming up in conversation. Like, I want everybody to go to her workshop on Monday. So Monday evening at 8 o'clock, Lisa's got a whole workshop, a masterclass, and she's going to be sharing some top tips. If Lisa, if you're still here, let us know. So have you been doing the challenge this week, did you say, Kels?
Yeah.
Do you know the title of the masterclass? I've forgotten the title of it because I'm an idiot. But at 8 o'clock, all the challenge has been building up to this incredible masterclass. But you don't have to have done the challenge in order to do the masterclass, but you can catch up on it. It's 8 o'clock in the evening on Monday. Tracy, whilst you're doing that, Tracy's saying, I said about my circle this week, it's so true. It is so important who you hang out with. Yes, I love that. You're the average of the people that you hang out with. This group is awesome. It is awesome. We're such an incredible community.
Here you go. Masterclass, 5 steps to recurring revenue.
Amazing. And that's dead important to people right now, isn't it? Like, it's great. So many people say, oh, I've had a 10K a month, or I've had a 5K a month. That's great. How do you do that consistently? How do you make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, even if you've had to, I hate the word right now, but pivot, how do you make money regularly? You know, so that you're not just a flash in the pan, so that you can maintain doing the things that you love and get paid for it on the regular.
And that's what you do. You find Lisa Johnson and you learn about her cash system.
Yeah, I love it.
And you hang out with the right people. So what I was saying was, obviously, I'm hanging out with you, hanging out in Lisa Johnson's group. I spend a lot of time chatting to Kat Massey as well. Love Kat.
Morning, Kat.
And you know, you get to know all these people really well. And I think, you know, and Helen McHugh as well, Helen McHugh.
Yeah.
You know, fabulous lady.
I got my moments candle here. I give things to like VIPs. That isn't it funny how when we become like a micro economy.
This one's one of yours.
As being the best mine. Look, you got my candle. I love it. I always get dead shot when people have my stuff. I got super squeaky then when I realised what that was. I got that in my hand, and it smells fit. But yeah, isn't it incredible as well? So yes, it has been difficult. It has been, the whole thing has been difficult and weird and strange. Some of us are homeschooling. We've never had to do that before. Some of us have got more work than we ever have before. Some people are scared. Some people are frightened. But actually, by being part of all these different communities, it allows us to become a microeconomy. So you will find right now, Kelly, there are people who need assistance because they will need to start putting down some of their plates so that they can focus on how to save their businesses if that's what they need to do. Or they may have found that whatever their products, their goods or service is really needed right now. And as a result, they've had like exponential growth and now they're spinning plates. They're thinking, fucking hell, we could do with doing this all the time.
Yeah, people have started to understand why VAs exist, haven't they? Those who didn't understand it before. So, I mean, the way I sort of see things for my business going forward now is I've got my VA business. I've actually started to collaborate with a couple of people as well because, I hate to admit it, but there are gaps in my skill set.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you have gaps in your skills? But this is what is important. When you collaborate to plug those gaps, you suddenly become super strong. Yeah. One of the reasons why I'm strong is because of my network.
Really, really strangely, I've been having some conversations with this lady, and somebody put her in touch with me regarding becoming a VA, and said that I could give her some advice and some help. So I had some conversations with her a couple of weeks ago, and then after one of my posts on my Facebook page, my At the Drop of a Hat page, the other day, she messaged me.
I love it, just like point of sale, go.
I used to be a magician's assistant as well, so I'm used to doing all of that. That's another story. So anyway, back to that. So this lady that I'd been talking to messaged me after one of these posts on the Facebook page, and we had a conversation yesterday. And it turns out she's got experience in a couple of things that I necessarily haven't. I've built some websites, but I'm not an absolute expert at it.
Yeah, so she's got developing. That's not your job.
In these couple of specific things, and WooCommerce and whatever. So we'd had this conversation yesterday, and I was like, do you know what we should do? We just need to collaborate, because I've got a bit of an audience already. One of my key skills is sales, so let's do this. This morning when I woke up, obviously looked at my phone straight away, which you do, and one of my friends actually tagged me in a post and recommended me when somebody had asked, do you know any VAs that have got experience in this? So luckily I was the first person to comment on that, and I'm going to be speaking with this lady to offer her those services. So, and it was exactly the same as I was discussing with this lady that I'm going to collaborate with.
And isn't it just wonderful that you're able to do that? Then you've got people in almost like in your arsenal of awesome, that when you're speaking to your clients, that you're able to say, actually, I know someone who's really trustworthy. Yeah. I know somebody who does the job really, really well. And that's one of the incredible things about building your network. And I say this all the time, your network is your net worth. And the whole point of this community, the whole point of the IATQB movement is that, have you ever heard me talk about bees festooning?
Yeah.
Right, so bees, for those that don't know, bees, there is a reason why I chose like the queen bee as my brand, and I'll talk about that another time. But bees do this incredible thing that when they're building something new, they link arms, and it tends to be the female bees that do it, but they link arms and they show the other bees where to build to. And I just thought, oh, that's an incredible analogy for what we create in here, and what, the kind of people that I attract to me are people that seek to collaborate. There are other speaking coaches out there in the world, other speaking coaches out there who I am really close friends with. If I am not the ripest, juiciest peach in the world for somebody who comes across to me, they might not like the fact that I swear. They might not like the fact that I'm really straight talking. So I'm able to say, actually, you might want to work with this person. That might be a better fit for you. Yeah. And we collaborate and don't compete because there's enough at the top for everybody.
Yeah, completely. So I'm really excited about all of that side of things. So with my VA business, that was always where I wanted to take it anyway. I wanted to start to hire associate VAs, keep that running, do my bit, which is, the main sales bit to, bring in the business, get my associate VAs running. And then I was cleaning the toilet the other day. And
as you do.
You might think I'm really weird now.
No, right. Kelly, this is me you're talking to. There is no holds barred on the conversation that we are able to have in this platform. This is my space. You want to talk about cleaning your loo, sister? You go right ahead. I'm here for you.
Okay. So I'd got my hand down the toilet in the main bathroom that the children use, right? And you have to clean it every day because they leave. You know what it's like. However many times you tell them, right? You've got to go in there every day and clean it.
You have to, absolutely, yes, you do. I'm with my husband. Ratty horrible thing.
And I come up with ideas in the strangest of places. There I was, cleaning the toilet, and I went, oh my God, I've had this light bulb moment. Right?
I love it. So when you're doing the most weird and banal of things, like you are struck by lightning.
So it suddenly came to me, right? And I haven't been doing any of the recruitment stuff. And one of the reasons is because I needed to get my head out of that for a while, and I needed a little break from it because I've done solidly 16 years worth of recruitment, and I needed a little bit of downtime from it. And I was under a number of restrictive covenants.
It's really high pressure, the recruitment sector anyway, isn't it? It is like very numbers based, sales and numbers together, and very target driven, isn't it? So it's like a pressure cooker environment. You've got to love sales, haven't you, if you work in recruitment?
Yeah, so there's no let up from that. So it needed a little bit of a break anyway. I was under these restrictive covenants, and then when I had my hand down the toilet the other day, I just went, oh my God, I'm sitting on a gold mine here and I'm not doing anything with it, and I'm ready, right? So I got my hand out the toilet.
Tell me. Yeah, I'm glad you did that. Just paused for a second.
Wash my hands while singing.
Good, I'm glad you said that. Did you sing happy birthday twice while you did it?
And I will survive. Then I started planning, and I went, oh my God, right. So I decided I'm actually going to set up a recruitment business, because I should have already done that, but I needed to wait till my restrictive covenants were done. So I need to set up a recruitment business, right? And then I'd been watching Lisa Johnson's interviews. I mean, interviews are where it's at the moment everywhere, aren't they? These, this is what's getting traction on social media.
People want to know about people.
Yeah. And it's interesting. It's more interesting than just a video, or I mean, everyone loves watching you on your own anyway. I might not be quite as interesting to watch on me.
I still end up just having a little rant and telling people why I'm annoyed at the Tesco checkout, or I'm flower arranging at 10 o'clock at night, or I'm doing something very strange. So it's never intentional.
You're like a younger, prettier Victoria Wood when you do that stuff.
People say like a Bobby Peter Gay.
Oh my God. Right, what was I saying? Okay, so
your inspiration.
And I'd been watching the interviews. So I watched an interview with Lisa interviewing you. Okay. So I watched your interview, and I watched Abigail Horn's interview.
Yes, right? Abigail Horn's from Authors & Co. Incredible. She's a really good friend of mine.
And she's so lovely as well. She is. So I came up with this idea. So I thought, right, I'll start the recruitment business because I know exactly what I'm doing with that. So, I can start that pretty quickly, and I can just do that from home, and it's it's absolutely fine. And then off the back of that, what I'm going to do is start training entrepreneurs that want to become self-employed recruitment consultants or start a recruitment business, so that they can do that. And I'm going to coach and mentor and help them with that training.
Know loads about it. Amazing.
And I'm wasting that, that knowledge, aren't I?
Exactly. Honestly, Kelly, I found myself in exactly the same position. Those that have been following for a while, I was singing Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. And then I would have Monday to Thursday. And I had all of these skills from working in corporate, training directors, training senior leaders, training big teams. And I wasn't using any of it. I wasn't sharing those presentation skills. I wasn't sharing those leadership skills with anybody. I wasn't helping anybody. I was just singing me shoulda, coulda, wouldas on a Friday night in a pub for about 5 people. And as soon as I started helping people, as soon as I started helping them unlock different things, amazing things started happening. When you're sat on a skill set, it can leave your cup quite empty, can't it?
Yeah. And that's what I like doing. I like helping people. I like coaching people. I think this is, I know this is the right time to do it. So my idea with that as well is, going back to the discussion that we had about me being 4'11" and not fitting into the dancing lineup and having to work harder. Yeah. That's kind of how I felt for a lot of my career. And I got to a point where, I didn't agree with what directors were doing in certain recruitment businesses. Yeah. And, totally. I was in healthcare recruitment, and I was, campaigning for carers and nurses to be paid more than they were being paid. And the issue with that was the margins with the clients that we were working with, and they just, I used to say, you literally this sounds awful. You dropped your pants to get the business, and that is not a good business development person.
Especially when you work within the healthcare sector, especially.
Yeah.
It's insanity, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I came away from that. But my ideas in what I want to do is help these people set up businesses, and then from a recruitment point of view, candidates are important too. It's it's a two-way street. It's not just about the clients and exactly what they want. An interview is a two-way street, isn't it? And I think that completely gets forgotten in the recruitment world.
Yeah, absolutely. So going forward then, what does that growth look like? So what's the next steps with this?
Okay, so the next step for me at the moment is today I'm going to be setting up a group called the Recruitment Academy.
Amazing.
So I started it last night, and I need to do it properly today before I start inviting people to it.
Okay, I was going to say, like, bang the link here. Like, if there's anyone out there that needs this, then like, I want you to share it.
So in fact, I mean, Lisa said this on her challenge, even if there's nothing in the group yet, we can say what it's called, can't we? There's nothing in there yet, but there will be going forward, and there'll be lots of juicy tidbits and loads of fantastic information in there. So if people want to join that group, it's linked to my page, but it's called the Recruitment Academy.
Amazing.
But there's nothing in there yet, and the photograph isn't in there yet.
You're starting, and there's no reason. Like, people like to follow a journey, Kelly. People love to follow a journey. Lots of people have followed my journey from the start. Will remember not even 18 months ago, maybe just a little bit more than 12 months ago, where I didn't have a group that worked in the capacity that it did, that I wasn't doing any of this stuff. I was scrabbling around, selling bits of mascara to support my bills and things like that. Yeah. So, what part of my success has been that people have been following my journey and rooting for me along the way. So sharing that you're at the start of this particular journey is so important, because there will be people that foundationally form part of your core audience and your core following, and they're the people that are going to be sharing stuff out there. So, the fact that there's nothing in there right now is exciting, because even just speaking to you this morning and getting to know you more this morning, Kelly, where you're giving your experience and all of that sort of stuff, flipping heck, that is going to be a rip-up community. Like, that, those people are going to learn so much from you. I can't wait for you to come back and tell us, like, how all that is going.
I'd love to. It'd be great. So I am really excited. So I've got the whole VA thing bubbling away, and I'll start to take on more associate VAs. I'll launch my recruitment company when I'm ready. I've been playing around with the logo and stuff. I need to decide. One of the things I'm struggling to decide at the moment, and you might have a view on this.
I'm here for this.
So my recruitment company, I'm going to call it Star Peg Round Hole.
Star Peg. Ooh. Instead of a square peg.
Yeah.
So let's cheeky. I like it.
A square peg that can't go into a round hole. I don't know why that sounded a bit sexual.
It always does. I don't know why. I can't help it. In here, all of a sudden, it's like playing innuendo bingo, and we don't mean it to happen, but sometimes it just does.
So the idea of that is, rather than talking about somebody as not the right fit, and I think that's been clear with me over my career and being the 4'11" dancer, etc. I might not have been the right fit for certain things, but maybe I was a star peg as opposed to a square peg.
And that is going to form part of your story whenever you talk about what it is that you do, in the same way the festooning and the waggle dancing and the whole bee thing forms really the core values of what it is that I do. So I just think that is, I'm here. I'm here
I've
for
not
that.
told anyone about this.
You just told everybody about it. I love it. Remember, this was just me and you, everybody. I got some secrets to tell you, Danny. Well, a bit awkward.
Star peg round hole. So I'm going to abbreviate it. I don't know whether that's the word. Do you say abbreviate that to?
Yeah, like an acronym.
SPR. So SPR group. Is abbreviate the right word?
Yeah, you're abbreviating it. I love it, and it's SPR group sounds really like super professional.
Really recruitment.
And then you start talking about holes and it all goes wrong. No, it doesn't. I love it. No, I think it's incredible, and it's so important when you have a brand, when you have a mission, to have some sort of strapline or tagline, a mission-based statement, kind of. And that's what that is. And that is what helps people be drawn in towards you, isn't it? That's what helps people be that's what helps people be drawn towards what it is that you're about. Because again, people buy people. So even if you were a group, it's still Kellie Williams that's the head of it. Just like I used to work for Coffin Warehouse and Charles Dunstone. The whole story was that, and he would share this story, was that he started out by selling, he bought like 10 big suitcase car phones and sold them from the boot of his car. And then that became what is the Coffin Warehouse, collaborations with Dixon's, Best Buy. I mean, it's all a bit different now. They've moved into the online space, but the story is what the staff believed in, coming from there, and that kind of value, that mission, that where that comes from. I just love it. I get so excited about the story behind names, why people call themselves what they call themselves. So you've really just you've tickled me pickle there. I love it.
I think that's kind of, all of that is sort of part of me. It's ingrained in me. And, at one point in my career, I spent, I think I was there for 3.5 years. I worked for MB&A, the credit card company.
Yes.
And my dad said to me when I went there, he said, oh, you'll never stick it because it's not for you, because everyone's in a row and it's like, battery hands, basically.
Yeah.
So it made me more determined to stick at it.
Yeah.
So whilst I was there,
don't tell us we can't do something.
Tell me I can't do something, and which I did. So I got into the top 5 salespeople. There were loads of people that worked at MB&A, but every time there was like a power hour, I'm one of those people that was responsible for selling payment protection. But I hasten to add, I never missold anything.
I'm here. It's all right. You don't have to excuse yourself. We've all done what we've had to do, Kelly, to get where we are. It's fine. We've all got to make it past.
Whilst I was there, I had, I can't even remember which manager it was, but I had an appraisal. And obviously, because I'm so competitive, I used to get the highest marks in every single appraisal because I wouldn't stand for anything less.
Yeah.
So I had this appraisal with this manager. And when this manager delivered this appraisal, I can't even remember whether it was a he or a she. I can't remember who it was. They gave me a card. And when I went back to my desk and opened this card, it was the George Bernard Shaw quote about attitudes. And it to do with the fact that if you're not in the circumstances that you want, you go out and you create those circumstances.
Yes.
So that's kind of always stayed with me, because that's how I feel about, you know, life, you know, personally and in business as well. You know, if it's not what you want, just stop moaning about it.
Make the
go
table.
out there and create it.
We've got the tools. Make the table. Invite other people to come and sit at it. You know what I mean? It is that, isn't it? All over. So, my God, Kelly, I could talk to you all day. This has been just a wonderful, wonderful. It's been so nice to get to know you better. So, a little saying, it's not a profound saying, but on a Friday, I tend to do some sort of post that runs along the lines of shake your bums, it's Friday, right? So, I'm not going to ask you to shake your bum, although I know you would be quite adept to it, given your dancing background. But I want to ask you two things. One, if there is a song that would get you shaking your bum on a Friday, Kelly, what song would it be?
Oh, what would
I put you on the spot, haven't I?
I love Kylie, and
okay.
It would be when I go out, I want to go out dancing.
Perfect. I love it. And the last question I want to ask you, and I ask everybody this at the beginning of the week, and I ask everybody at the end of the week in our community, in the IATQB Hive, so we're on Friday this week. We've had a 5-day work week. I know the days are all rolling into one. The reason why I do this show is to keep me knowing what day it is. It's more for me than it is for anybody else. What have you done this week that has made this week a success for you?
So personally this week, in my personal life, helped my mum and dad with that situation. That's major for me. You know, supporting my mum with the mental health team and the consultant. So that's a major thing for me. And I'd say in business as well, Lisa Johnson's challenge.
Doing the challenge. Yeah, we've got no doubt in my mind at all that will have been a major win for so many people this week, which is why I'm imploring any of you that are watching this live, that are watching this on the replay, to go and check out her workshop, 5 Steps to Recurring Revenue, on Monday. It'll be on her page, Lisa Johnson Coaching, at 8 p.m. Go and check that out on Monday, because it'll be incredible. So, Kelly, enjoy the rest of Friday. Have an incredible weekend. I want to put you off the stream now while I wrap things up. So give us a kiss. I'll see you later, sausage.
Bye, everybody.
So there we go. Shake your bums. It is Friday. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. If you are enjoying what we're doing, please make sure you are sharing. Make sure you are following the page and you're hitting the C first in terms of notifications, and you'll be notified every time I go live, you lucky things. So next week, shall I tell you who we've got on next week? Let me tell you who we've got on next week. We've got some fabulous, fabulous guests. We've got Gemma James, we've got Joe Smith, Jessica Fleischer, we've got Shell Showett, Talking All Things Style, and the fabulous Dave McPartland from BBC Bite Size. And also, he's one of the local head teachers in the local area. He's kind of one of those, like, I knew him before he was famous. Only kind of marginally from the outskirts, so we're not like best mates, but we have been following each other's journey for the last couple of years. So please make sure that if you don't join me for anything else next week, make sure you join me next Friday morning for a Shake Your Bums It's Friday with a fabulous Dave McPartland. We have got some fabulous guests. We are now booked up into June. Can you believe it? Into June. We have got people every single Monday to Friday sharing the stories, sharing how they show up, wise up and rise up, and we will be doing that together. It is incredible sharing this. I am so pleased and proud this is growing into what it is, and I cannot wait to see you all on Monday. I wish you the safest and happiest and most peaceful of weekends. Let me know in the comments what has made this week a win for you. What have you achieved this week? Have you managed to have a shower and brush your teeth every single day? Because I've got the pom-poms out, shaking them for you. I'm going to get some pom-poms, shaking them for you if you've done that. If you have done a £1 million deal this week, I'm going to get my pom-poms out, just my pom-poms, and shake them for you as well. We are here celebrating another week in lockdown. We've got through it together. You guys are incredible. Sending you the hugest amounts of love. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I love you. I'll see you later.